Hi, this is Steve. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review. In this video I continue to build the Agora Models Terminator T-800. I am on pack 3, stage 25. If you haven't done so already, head over to Agora Models and subscribe to this kit today. It's fantastic, half scale. It's breathtaking when you actually see it in person. So with that, let's get started on stage 25.
Phased plasma rifle in 40-watt range. Uzi 9mm. I'll be back.
Welcome back. Let's look at the instructions for stage 25. So for stage 25 we assemble the right shoulder. We have a lot of parts and pieces here that's involved. A lot of plastic pieces that we're going to be cutting off sprue trees, and quite a few screws here going on. We have the first 8 steps here involved with the shoulder assembly. Be using some super glue with this also, and you'll need some tweezers. Moving on, we have a total of 18 steps for this. We do have a pretty large spring that has to go in here also to keep everything together. So this is going to be fun. We're going to got a lot to do here. So stay tuned. I'll get the parts out and we'll get a closer look. Here's the parts as they are presented in the blister pack. There's a lot of parts in here. It's hard to see them all, including that large spring and a few screws. So I'll take these out and we'll get a closer look. Here's a close-up of the parts for stage 25. We do receive a large spring here, and of course that's made out of metal. And also this part right here, which is the right elbow pin, that's also made out of metal. Okay, so pretty surprisingly there, the elbow pin they call it. And we have a bunch of plastic parts here. And they call this the right shoulder accessories. And you can see both sides of that. And lastly, as far as parts go, we get the right shoulder accessories also. And 2 types of screws were issued. We received 3 PM 3x8 screws, and those are the longer ones there. And then we received 4 PM 3x6 screws, and those are the shorter screws that are right there. So the 8s and the 6. I'll be right back and we'll start this assembly. Step 1, we'll assemble the shoulder assembly. I am going to go ahead and use some super glue, the Gorilla super glue. Instructions don't say to use super glue, but I think it needs to be used. I'm just going to apply some across here. And it just simply goes right down on top of it, just like that. There we go. Straight down on top. And I'll take a little bit of accelerator, spray it in there, and that should help it dry. I'll be right back. Further along in the instructions, they tell us to identify these parts alphabetically. So we have A, B, C, D, and E. And we'll be assembling into the shoulder mechanism. Okay, I'll be attaching a lot of these accessories to this shoulder assembly, and I'm going to maintain, just as I did before, that this part here in the middle is configured to where your 2 screws are vertical along the path here. You got 2 screw here, holes here on the sides and 1 on the end. We want to maintain that vertical with the screws on the center. Now these accessories will be sliding in place. I'm going to add some super glue. The instructions do say you can add super glue to where all these accessories go into. So I'm going to put the super glue in first with my looper. So I'm putting super glue in, all of them, because we're going to be doing all of them. Doing the other side. This side here. And on the very bottom. It's just going to keep those in place. So A goes on top. Next we have B. And I didn't put the glue in the right spot for B. B goes up here. So B goes like that. C goes over here on the end also. D goes on the bottom. And E goes over here on the end. Just like that. Once again, we're still maintaining that our two screws in the middle are vertical, and they still are. We're going to take our spring and put that in the middle. Okay, so next we have this cover plate. Now if you'll look here on the side, there's kind of a cutout on the side, and the cover plate has the same thing. You can just see it there. That's going to line up with this side, with this round circle part. So we're going to compress the spring. Make sure we got the spring where it needs to be, if you can see that. And we're going to compress this down to where it looks just like that. Okay, we're going to put in the PB 3x6 screws. Put one in there right now and screw it down. Here's one, and now we can do the other two. It's pretty cool how this all goes together. And that's all put together. So I like it. Pretty cool. So next we have this other accessory that has to go on the back side here. It simply goes along right here. And it needs to be super glued. Super glue on this peg and on that peg. And it will simply just line up with that. And to help it dry out, a little extra there. I'm going to shoot it with some accelerator, and capillary will pull it in place, and this will dry in place very quickly. So while that's drying, I'll just show you again how this looks. Remember that notch went on the circle part, and this is how all the accessories look on that. It's a pretty heavy piece here, the shoulder joint. Very good. Next we'll take the part from stage 23 and attach it to that shoulder joint, and you can see there's an alignment pin and 2 screw holes, and it's simply just going to go down just like that, and we're going to put our 3x8 screws in. They're the longer ones that came with this issue, and you can see the holes there, and simply going to screw 2 of them in. You can kind of see in there. And they are tight. You can see them both there. And lastly, we got one more part that needs to go in. It goes in right there where that hole is. It also will need to be super glued. This is the part right here that goes into that. There is an alignment tab on the bottom, and it's actually going to go just like that, where this arm is sticking towards the shoulder joint. Just like that. And we'll put some super glue on this. Okay, I dipped it in my super glue. Now I'm just going to insert it in there. And I want it to be straight as possible. And I'm going to hit it with some accelerator, and that should dry up just fine. And that's all we do for stage 25. That was a blast building it. Very mechanical. That's the type of things I like to do with my background when I was in the Air Force working on C-130s, but this was a lot of fun. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. Every subscription counts. Believe me, it will greatly help get my channel out there for everybody to know that I'm here and I'm building these model kits for you. And also hit the bell for all notifications with that. Head over to Agora Models and subscribe to this today. Remember, the Agora promise is once they come out with the model, they're not going to stop midterm on you and leave you with half of a model. That's never going to happen with Agora Models. So I'm glad you joined me, and everybody that subscribes to my channel, thank you once again. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.